This is a pretty quick lesson about the supine in Latin. The supine is used in very few situations, but in some it is a fourth declension verbal noun, right? So it's formed like the infinitive or like a participle from a verb, but it's going to be a noun, and it's formed from the fourth principal part. So if we take the verb dico, dico, dicere, dixi, dictum, or dictus. Dictum, this actually is technically the supine. We're going to use this and we're going to turn it into a fourth declension noun. And it's only going to be found in the accusative and ablative cases. So it's going to be ductum, here's the accusative, and ductu, here's the ablative. These are neutered. I don't think it has a gender. It doesn't matter. It's not going to be modified by anything. But it's going to be used in two, so when I say very limited use, it's only going to be used in two situations. The first is going to be used in the accusative only with verbs of motion to show purpose. So the accusative shows purpose, no preposition, just the supine by itself. So for example, Romam eo doctum, I go to Rome, here's your verb of motion. Doctum, here's your supine. It's accusative, it shows purpose, to teach. I go to Rome to teach. And you can translate it almost like an infinitive in English. Ad ludum itis perceptum. You go to school, there's your verb of motion. Perceptum, here's our supine, to learn. From percipio. Caesar milites mittebat exploratum. Caesar sent soldiers, or was sending soldiers, there's your verb of motion. To explore. To spy, to reconnoiter, right? To explore, we'll say. So there's our supine again. Always ending in um, no preposition, but showing purpose. Or, famously from Ovid's Ars Amatoria in the first book, spectatum veniunt. They come, there's your verb of motion, spectatum, to see, to look, to watch. And then he continues on, they come that they themselves might be watched. This is talking about women at the horse races. So they come to watch. All right, so the accusative supine, verbs of motion, shows purpose. So look to that and just translate it like an infinitive, showing purpose. The second use is the ablative. Remember, these are going to end in u, so dictu. We're also going to translate them as to say or to whatever the verb is, right, like an infinitive. But it's going to mostly be used with adjectives and a few nouns as an ablative of respect. So, for example, horribile dictu, and this is a very common exclamation. Horrible, there's our dictu, there's our supine ablative, horrible to say. It's a horrible thing to say. Horrible with respect to saying. Mirabile visu. Again, a very common exclamation. Marvelous to see. It's a miraculous thing to see. Sometimes with nouns, like I said, si hoc fas est dictu. If it's okay, if it's allowed, fas, there's a noun. If it is allowed to say. Cicero says this in his Tusculan Disputations. Si hoc fas est dictu, if it is allowed to say. Or haud factu facil est. It is hardly easy. It is not at all easy, factu, to do. It is easy with respect to doing. So keep in mind there are only these two cases. They're only used in these very limited situations. The accusative only with verbs of motion to show purpose, and the ablative only with adjectives and a few nouns to show in respect to what that adjective or noun is true.